Hi there and welcome back to another video. Today I'm talking to you about all the new releases coming out in October 2025. We start off the month with the releases on October 7th. First up is Higher Magic by Courtney Floyd, and this one is the story of a magical grad student who's kind of dealing with the end of her program and also discovers some startling things about the disability accommodations in her school. I think this one will be perfect with the inclusion of magic and also the school setting, and it also sounds like it addresses some interesting themes as well. Up next is Overdue by Stephanie Perkins, and I'm very interested in this one. It's a romance with a super unique concept. Our two characters have been dating forever. They are trying to decide whether or not it's time for them to get married. So they come up with an idea to take 1 month break from their relationship to date other people since they haven't before. And then after that month is up, they'll decide whether or not they should actually go through with it and get married. Up next, we have an office romance from Mary McFarlane called Cover Story. This one also has a kind of cool twist with a 30-something coming back to the office as an intern to kind of start over. I've read another one of McFarlane's books that I really enjoyed, so I'm looking forward to this one as well. Up next, we have Colin Gets Promoted and Dooms the World, which I really like the cover for. This one is another like office themed book. This one is a lot about like a ladder climbing and kind of twines together the ideas of hell and working in the office. So this one sounds super interesting as well. And next on the list is highly anticipated Mate by Ali Hazelwood. I read Bride and absolutely loved it, so I'm really hoping to get to Mate, even though October for me this year is going to be vampire themed. So I know that Mate has werewolves in it. I don't think it is like super vampire heavy, but might be able to get away with it being a sequel to Bride is enough of a reason to incorporate it into my vampire October, but we'll see. On the theme of like super weird, interesting books coming out in October, we have one by Nicholas Sparks and M. Night Shyamalan. I'm not a huge movie person, but my boyfriend is, and when I mentioned this to him, he was super confused. I know Nicholas Sparks obviously is like a romance author, and I don't think M. Night Shyamalan is a romance director. That's not the case. So this one would be super interesting, especially for anybody who's really into both of those worlds. So that's something to keep in mind if it sounds up your alley. Now we have the releases for October 14th. And to go along with my vampire October, I have one new release that fits in perfectly, and that is Dead and Breakfast, which is a queer story about two vampires who are running a bed and breakfast in a small town. This one sounds like it's gonna be cozy, and I will have a full review coming out for that on October 14th. Moving into nonfiction, this is a book that I am so excited for, and it is a memoir by Tim Curry called Vagabond. If you, like me, like listening to the Rocky Horror soundtrack and going to see like the live performance as part of your Halloween festivities, then you know Tim Curry is like a huge deal. And I'm pretty sure his performance with Rocky Horror was kind of like the breakout performance of his career. So it's super fitting that they are releasing Vagabond this month, and I think it would be a great thing to tie into your Rocky Horror viewing experience. As with the Nicholas Sparks book, I have another book on this list of new releases I'm interested in just because it's kind of unexpected, and that is a book coming out by Reese Witherspoon. This one looks like it's going to be a thriller, and also there is a co-author on this book, but I'm super interested. I love Reese Witherspoon in the movies she's been in, so I think this is just another kind of book to film kind of like crossover, I guess, that could be a very fun time, especially in October. So if you're a fan of Reese Witherspoon, thrillers, and or both, you might want to check this one out. Moving on to October 21st. First up for the October 21st releases is Play You Forward by Samantha Saldivar, and this one is about the first women named head coach of a top-level men's college basketball team. I also believe this one is sapphic as well, so if you're into sports, basketball, and sapphic romance, this one might be a good new release for you to check out. We are starting off the Christmas book releases, as we do every year in October, with Good Spirits by B.K. Borson. Now, B.K. Borson is the author of the popular book First Time Caller. I read that one and personally did not super love it, but I always like to give authors a second chance, and I am interested in Christmas books, just not this month. But I will be picking this one up probably not this October, but maybe a little bit closer to Christmas time. If, like me, you're both a writer and a reader, there is a writing book coming out this month, and that is Writing Creativity and Soul by Sue Monk Kidd. This says that in Writing Creativity and Soul, Sue Monk Kidd will pull from her own life and the lives of other writers, Virginia Woolf, Maya Angelou, Harper Lee, and many others, to provide a map for anyone who has ever felt lost as a writer. I think this one sounds super interesting, and like I said, as a writer, I'm always looking for more books that I can read to strengthen my abilities or just like provide some guidance. Another release we have for October 21st is Girl Dinner by Olivia Blake, and aside from the title and the cover being just like super fun. I also just read Atlas 6 by Olivia Blake last month, so I'm actually kind of interested in seeing where this goes. And it's giving kind of like, it's set in a sorority, so it's almost giving kind of like dark academia, which I also released a dark academia vlog last month, so these themes are just kind of bleeding from one month into the next. October 21st is a super packed day for releases because we also have The Devil She Knows by Alexandria Bellefleur. This is another cover that I love. I think it's so cute. And from the synopsis, it kind of sounds like this one is a sapphic romance about a woman who gets stuck in the elevator with a devil or a demon. I don't really know what the difference is, but like I said, I love the cover and I'm into this one. I probably won't be picking it up this month just because I am doing vampire theme and not demon theme, but it's interesting how The Devil She Knows has kind of like a hell theme. And we also have the Colin Gets Promoted and Dooms the World, which is another one that kind of incorporates hell. So if you're looking to pick like a supernatural theme for your October, maybe you could go with like hell, the underworld, demons. Okay, and then moving to the last release date of the month, October 28th, we have one coming out by Josie Silver. This is Kooky Spooky Love, which is, I think, an enemies to lovers second chance romance set in a haunted house. I love the cover. I think it looks super cute. And I believe I have read a Josie Silver book before and I enjoyed it. So, and this is one I got as an ARC, so I will probably have a full review coming out on October 28th. Up next on October 28th, we have Cry Voidbringer. And from the synopsis, it says, Cry Voidbringer is a gripping saga of how far one will go for freedom and control, and how easily it can all be taken away. This one is about a queen fighting against imperialist oppressors, and it looks super interesting and I love the cover. Up next is Alice Rue Evades the Truth, and this is another one with a premise that I think is so interesting. This one is about a girl working at an office and her longtime crush has a medical emergency. She saves his life, and later when she's at the hospital with him, the EMTs mistakenly tell his family that she is his girlfriend. And she thinks in the chaos of everything that she's just gonna roll with it. She thinks it's kinder to go along with it for now and then maybe set the record straight later, but he's in a coma for a while and she ends up kind of catching feelings for his sister. So this one sounds really interesting. Up next is kind of a funny addition to the releases here and I just had to include it, despite the fact that I'm not a pickleball person myself, but there is a romance called Pickle Perfect, and this one is a second chance romance set at a pickleball vacation. So if you really like pickleball or you just want to find like kind of a fun theme for a romance, I would suggest this one. I don't know if I'm gonna read it myself, but I kind of want to. And that is all of the October releases that I'm interested in coming out this month. Some of them I might get to this month, some of them I might not. If you want to read these new releases pretty close to their release date, now might be a good time to check your Libby app or check with your local library so you can get on the hold list, because you can usually do this before the book comes out. If you go on Libby and search, you might be able to check and see if they know that they're gonna have it on the release date. You can go ahead and get on that hold list early. I've been able to even get books like super soon after they release. By checking on this, I was able to get We Love You Bunny, which I covered in this video here, just on like the second or third day after it came out. So again, I would super encourage you to check at your local library to see if you can read these books. But if you're interested in having your own copies, I do have some links in my description from bookshop.org. Are there any of these books that you're interested in? Did I miss any super big releases that I definitely should have included? Let me know down in the comments. And as always, thank you so much for watching and I'll see you again next time.